arrived here at Nha Trang, Vietnam. Looking at the city right behind me, and looking at the ocean in that direction, and the beautiful mountains in that direction, and I'm getting my first looks at it. Everything. And what I'm seeing all the way across, a big Ferris wheel, and I believe that is an amusement park. If I read it correctly, that place is called Vinwonders. And it appears that there's only one way to get to Vinwonders, and there's like a sky ride that runs right across the Gulf of China. Right around that bay. So it's a beautiful place, at least my first impressions. I know I'm gonna have more to give you as I go along. I will be here for a little while, and gonna try to get at least a couple of excursions, maybe 3, probably at least 2, and then probably get more tours of the city and just get the feel of everything here in Vietnam. So I will give you my thoughts of what Nha Trang is like. It is a world tourist attraction. I see a lot of people from all around the world. I'm sure everybody's got an opinion on it, and so will I. So, looking forward to the next several days here, maybe longer. We'll see. All right, let's do it. Let's enjoy Nha Trang. It's a beautiful day here in Nha Trang. So I'm going to walk around town today. May go to the beach later in the afternoon. We'll see, but I'm going to see some landmarks and probably go to the beach. That's my only thinking. At this point, I've got a few things I need to take care of, but nothing substantial. But anyway, when I do the video, it's going to be more, for this particular video, it's going to be more about the landmarks and everything around town, Nha Trang. I'm going to have probably at least a couple of excursions coming up, and I'm going to keep those separate because they will go relatively pretty long. So that'll kind of shorten it up a little bit, and that's what I decided I want to do. So, but yeah, look at this traffic here. No traffic lights. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 kind of like streets meeting up, all intersect into one, and they're trying to cross in, and look at that. That's the way they drive here in Vietnam. And when you go through a lot of these intersections, many times you're going to get honked at. They honk their horns with a passion. And you look around, there's like a median circle there. It's just like, it's kind of like a roundabout. And you see traffic going over that direction, traffic going in that direction, traffic coming over here, there, everywhere, and there's no traffic light. If I see another one coming up. Now this church is known as Mountain Church. It is actually the Christ of the King Cathedral. That's kind of the name of the particular church, and it is a Catholic church, through Vietnamese heritage. Yeah, everybody here wants to get their hands on the lovely Buddha. Yep, the tourist paparazzi were in full force here, and I was one of those. Now I'm here at this temple. And I am not going to name the name of this temple because I don't want to botch the pronunciation of this one. But it is a historic temple here. And I am going to have a look inside. And let's have a look. beach. And the water is pretty cold. I tell you, some way, shape, or form, I have no idea why I don't see anybody on a surfboard. Some pretty good waves coming in. Beautiful scenery. We got a disabled vehicle here. It's a beautiful evening here in Nha Trang. Did an uploaded video of Ham Island. So if you want to get the entire synopsis of everything about Miu Island, it's on the YouTube channel. Yeah, this is the Vietnamese braised mackerel. First time I ever tried it. As I'm looking out my hotel, I am going to a place where it's going to be a first-time experience for me. Pretty excited to experience what I'm going to experience. Somebody suggested me to do something, which is a Vietnamese tradition. I haven't done this before, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. Now, for this experience, more than likely cameras will not be allowed, but if they are, I will get to show you what that experience is. However, if not, I'll explain all in detail about it. Okay, I gotta go. I am thinking no cameras from this point forward. So you got the idea of what I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, it's such a beautiful resort here. They're giving me a thumbs up. They like it just as much as I do. And I liked it very well. So, yeah, this resort is a mud bath resort. And the first time ever in my entire life, I took a mud bath. So, one of the first steps you gotta do is you gotta change clothes into, your swimming gear and everything. And then you kind of go upstairs, and I was sitting in this, like a jacuzzi type of a tub. Something you see at your own home if you have one of those that are above ground that has one of those, not a garden tub kind of thing, but one of those that has the jets. And it would just spread, all this mud water right inside the tub. And then what you do is you get in the tub and you sit in there for like about 30 minutes. And then afterwards, then you rinse off. And the temperature of the water inside that tub, the mud tub, is around 35 degrees Celsius. So you're looking at it from a Fahrenheit standpoint, probably about 95, somewhere around there. But it's pretty hot. But you go in, and then obviously after that you shower off, and you're going through hot water, and you're going through all those steams of jets. Either a shower type, or you go through this one area where they have all these jets. So it's literally just spitting all this water coming at you, like it's just like a stream of, like a jet stream of hot water. And then afterwards, then you go into a jacuzzi, and you're in there for about a good 3 minutes, and then you go through and have all that the stream of water come at you, boiling water on your back and everything. And then afterwards, then you sit in an area for about nearly about 30 minutes into another tub, and you just kind of sit and relax. And then now I'm actually at a pool, and the water is still pretty hot. And the water indicates for that particular pool, 37 to 39.5 degrees Celsius. But, no matter if it's 35 or 40, it's still pretty hot. So this is a very typical and more of a well-known activity here in Vietnam, where people do mud baths, and the purpose of it is more of a muscle relaxation. More of a, getting more work on the acupuncture parts of the body, and even a stress reliever as well. But I'm less stressful here than anywhere else. But there are a number of factors that kind of helps you out, and it's kind of nice. So I'm glad I did it. Here I am. I just had my first mud bath my whole life. And one more thing I want to point out, the mud bath I took contained more of a mineral water. It's mineral hot water that was produced in that particular tub. So they have 3 different options that you can use for a mud bath. And I chose that particular option for today. I'm at this coffee shop, and it's all over Vietnam, and they have branches all over Vietnam. It's called Highlands Coffee, and I picked up it's kind of like a icy float, and it's a cookies and cream icy float, which I am going to get a try. It's excellent. Really tasty. Very thick. You really got to suck out a straw like a champ to get all that stuff. But then they did provide me a spoon, so I might have to dig in. Yep, gotta use a spoon. Gotta use a spoon. Welcome to, what is this place? Vinwonders. Vinwonders! This is the part of the Vinpearl Island. Vinwonders is an amusement park. And we're looking around here, just getting off of the sky ride. The cable car is what they call it. I enter this area here. It's more of kind of like the midway. It feels like a little bit from that standpoint. But you have a market of stores. This is the Harbor Market right behind me. I'll be walking in to check that out. And there's something inside that building over there. Looks like a numerous number of shops. And then I'm sure if I'll be walking around, I'll probably see some rides.
Stories from just 45,000 people. Short train makes 14,000 people.
Pagoda là một xứ sở vô cùng xinh đẹp và yên bình, bởi nơi đây được bảo hộ bởi quyền năng của viên ngọc hạnh phúc.
Ooh, I see a water ride. Should be fun. I just got off of a water ride and I entered through the building on this side. It came from this building right here and then went through the water, saw a little bit of a film of something, and once I got on the boat, you got to put the cameras away and enjoy a ride. It was more like a little bit like a jungle theme, but then there was like a little bit of a horror scene on top of everything. But it was just kind of a nice, 10-minute ride in the water and just going up this little conveyor belt thing and then slide on down and get a nice little splash. Good ride. It was a good ride. Just looking at the park map, there is a lot to cover. And I don't think I'm going to be covering the whole park today. I'm probably going to only be here once during this trip. The price of admission I paid was about 950,000 dong. It's roughly about $37 for the full day. Good price. Good price. Wow, that ride was like, you go into this, like a stationary ride that just kind of moves you over, and then you go and they have this like film, you're going through like clouds, you're going through like cities, going through like the Eiffel Tower, you're going through so many other landmarks that they'll just wave you through, and at the end of the ride, they take you all through this park. Like it just shows the big sign that looks like the Hollywood sign that says Vinpearl, and you go and it drives and this ride just kind of rolls and then rolls and it just like wow. I thought I was gonna pass out from that ride, to be honest with you. And I made it through, but that was pretty cool. I've never felt something like that. It's pretty awesome. Now I'm in a water park area here, and right behind me is a locker room area. So you have all your backpack, your valuables, and whatever you don't want to lose. It's available. You're right behind, and you have all these water slides that you see right behind me, just like that one right there with that big tube. And then you see a number of people that have their swim gears on, no shirt, no, whatever. So, they're out enjoying themselves in the water park, and it is a rainy day, by the way. I mean, just a light rain falling. That looks fun. Only if I have my swim gear with me, I'd probably be jumping in those tubes. Heck, I'm 50 years old, I can still do it. You're never too old to play outside, you know.
Watches, glasses, shoes, sandals, hairclips, and other hard objects.
That would be too heavy to put back in.
Now, just a handful of rides will have a fee attached in addition to what the general mission is. This is for one of them, that's the Alpine Coaster. It's a single person ride, and I think you control the braking systems as you glide down each hill. But going looking at the line, it's going to take about a 2-hour wait just to go on that line, and you got to pay about 200,000 BNDs, which is, I don't know what that amounts to the USD, but it's probably about roughly around, I'm going to say $7 or $8 USD. I'm only guessing, but yeah, you get your one ride, one turn, that's it. Maybe some night I might come here for a night market. I'm looking at some karaoke boxes right here. This particular restaurant, Texas Chicken, is still open here in Vietnam, but they closed all stores in Thailand. And apparently because of the competition was too fierce in Thailand, and they just couldn't profit enough. They just couldn't get enough profit margin, and they had to shut everything down in Thailand. But it's still alive and well right here in Vietnam. And of course, the main competitor, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hello.
How's it going? All right. Let's keep going up and up and up. We got some nice, beautiful waterfalls. Small but tiny waterfalls. Lots of greenery here in Vietnam. It's a little bit of a rainy day, but it's not raining much. Got a few spots here and there that are showing signs of precipitation. And I've got to watch my step. It's a little bit slippery. And I see a nice eating area up and on the way if I want to take a break. Hello. Got some incense, they have water, they have pop. No beer. Oh, which way do I need to go? Let's go left. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort to get up here, but no sweat. Well, here in Nha Trang, I was supposed to have an excursion today out in the ocean on a boat, and it was postponed due to some choppy water and high winds. And you can look at the flags above and the Vietnamese flag all the way to the top. You can see the wind has been, really windy. It's been picking up, and it's been that way the last couple of days. But fingers crossed, I'm hoping to get the excursion going tomorrow, but we'll see. Melbourne Golf. Never heard of them. All kinds of interesting stuff here. From hats, certain bags, some of the, some of the handmade stuff. A lot of there's some branded items here. Yeah, if I'm buying something, I want something that's more locally made. I'm not buying I would not buy any of the branded stuff, but there's some pretty cool things around here. I mean, you got some nice jewelry, and bracelets, and necklaces. And then I walk outside. The food market's across the street. Let's see what kind of food they have. Yeah, as I said earlier, the wind has been picking up all day long. And you can just tell by the waves, it is diving in. Well, these waves sure look nice, right? Look at that. And everything rolling in. These are huge. I just got word from the tour tomorrow that I was supposed to be out in the ocean on a boat. I don't know what kind of boat they have, but the boat is not going to sustain this type of level of waves. And that means no excursion out in the ocean. It's too bad. Wow, it's such another beautiful day here in Nha Trang, but man, it is still windy and still cannot do the snorkeling excursion out in the water. And like I said, this past evening, it was canceled. And yeah, I've got to see what my options are for today. I probably will just roam around town and just look all the scenery, the people, the traffic, and whatever else I may have missed here in this wonderful town. But it's, I tell you, the weather, I can't complain about the weather. It's nice, breezy, it never gets too hot. The whole time I was here, it wasn't too hot, but it was pretty hot, but not too hot. But today, it's rather cool, and I like it the way it is. It's pretty nice. Well, I'm just going to wrap it up for Nha Trang. I'm right by a school, and I think they're doing a free class session outside. But anyway, it's been a great time, considering I didn't get everything done I wanted, but still had an awesome time here. Hospitality's been great, great company, great scenery, everything was absolutely great. And yeah, I definitely would like to come back someday. That's without a question back in my mind. But off I go. Yes, indeed, off I go. I gotta get going, and I'm excited for this next spot I'll be into, and it's on to my next destination.